I know it's a little cheesy. I think that the start of a new year is a really fun time to reflect and look forward without any pressure, really. I mean, we're just putting the pressure on ourselves at the end of the day, right? Hi, friends. Welcome back to my New Zealand chapter. I can't believe that there are only a couple of days left of 2025. That's insane to me. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but I feel like this year just flew by. At the same time, a lot happened for me this year, both good things and not so good things. I know that there can be kind of a little bit of pressure surrounding the end of a year in terms of goal setting for the next year and looking back on your goals that you may or may not have completed from the past year. But I think that the start of a new year is a really fun time to reflect and look forward without any pressure, really. I mean, we're just putting the pressure on ourselves at the end of the day, right? So with that being said, I just wanted to give some ideas of how you might be able to look back on your 2025 and also plan for 2026 by sharing what I'm doing. The end of the year is always really fun for me. I love revisiting my memories from the year, whether that's going through my camera roll or this year I have the privilege of going through my YouTube videos because I started my channel in January. So that's been really fun. And then I love making a few goals for myself for the upcoming year. Nothing too crazy or too serious, but I think it's always fun to have some things that maybe I want to try out or continue doing in the new year. So on the topic of reflection, I have spent the past couple of days reading my journal entries from the year, and I this year bought a Hobonichi Weeks journal or planner, I guess technically it is, but I have been using it more as a journal for memory keeping because that's just the season of life that I felt like I was in. It's been really fun. I've done some collages like on the monthly pages of like a photo a day. So that's been really fun to reflect on. And then I have just, bits and pieces written about like what I did on certain days. And then I also have a few longer journal entries in the back of my Hobonichi Week. I actually went through month by month and read through everything, and then did a little recap in my other journal. I wrote about things that I was proud of and maybe some struggles that I had at certain points of the year, but this was a really good way for me to reflect, and I had a lot of fun doing it and sharing memories with friends as well. I had so many memories with my friends written down, and it was really fun to share that with them as well and kind of reflect together. If anyone's familiar with the Hobonichi Weeks, you know that there is a My 100 page at the very back of the journal or the planner. Sorry, I keep calling it a journal. And it can be a list of 100 things of whatever, but I was pretty ambitious at the beginning of this year, and I wrote down, I didn't write 100 things, but I wrote 50 things that I wanted to do this year. And while I didn't cross all of them off, I did cross off actually more than half of them, which I'm really proud about. A lot of these things were new to me. So I wanted to try Pilates, and I actually stuck with that for the majority of this year. I wanted to try dancing, which I did, and I have been keeping that up as well. It turned out to be one of my best memories from this year that I want to keep going with. I wanted to try a martial art, which I did. I tried Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, which was a really fun challenge for me. I also wanted to post on YouTube, and here I am. So things like that. A lot of new things this year for me, which has been so much fun. And even though I didn't cross off all 50 things, I'm not even mad about that because it was just kind of like an in the moment list of things that I wanted to do for myself, and the fact that I did more than half of them is pretty incredible. So I'm celebrating that win instead of focusing on the fact that I didn't check off everything on the list. So now that I've reflected a bit on 2025, I'm excited to plan for the new year. So like I said, I used my Hobonichi weeks this past year. I will say that in the beginning of the year, I really was using it to its full potential, and I was creating some creative spreads on this side of the planner, as well as the dated side. But as the year went on, I did fall off of it quite a bit. Like, there are so many blank pages here. And for that reason, I felt as though I didn't really need to invest in another Hobonichi weeks for 2026. This planner is very expensive. It is pricey. I think I paid 55 Australian dollars for this last year. Or I think I bought it in December of last year. So that was a big purchase for me. I am happy that I at least kept up with it for the most part. But anyway, for 2026, I found a very similar planner at Kmart here in New Zealand, and it was only $3 New Zealand dollars. And I think it's really cute, and I can add some stickers to it just like I did my Hobonichi. I mostly used my Hobonichi weeks for memory keeping, as I said. And while I did write important things like birthdays, appointments, etc., I really just wrote recaps of what I did that day. And with this planner, it actually gives me a lot more space to do that. So I think this is going to be really fun to use this year. It doesn't have as many pages to write longer journal entries for this year, but that's okay because I am kind of creating my own journaling ecosystem this year, which I'll get into a little bit later in the video. But I'm super excited to use this. I do love the gold color. It's super cute. And yeah, this is what I'll be using for 2026. Another thing that I've used in the past is actually a digital planner on my iPad. So I used to use the app Note to make kind of a list version of a planner. So I will insert a screenshot here, but as you can see, it is just the months of the year and all of the dates. And then I would go in and write the important dates down, like birthdays, appointments, travel dates, things that I was doing. And then I also had this mood tracker that I used. So I'll go ahead and take a screenshot of that as well and insert it right here. So that was really fun. I also did monthly recaps of my top 5 songs of the month on Spotify, and any books that I read, and a list of wins. So that was a really fun way to use digital planning. So that could be an idea for you this year as well. The reason I switched to a physical planner was just because I kind of fell off of the digital planning thing, and I was doing it more on a monthly basis than a daily basis. And I kind of wanted to move into a daily basis kind of record keeping. So yeah, just in a different season of life right now. And maybe I will go back to the digital planning eventually. Another thing I do every year is make a vision board. And I know it's a little cheesy, but I have been doing it for the past 4 or 5 years, and I really love it. So I use the app Procreate on the iPad. It is a paid app, but I've had it forever, and it's definitely paid itself off by now. I think it's like $10 and then you have it for life. So I like making these really fun collage vision boards, and I use Pinterest mostly to find everything. I search specific things, and I also just search vision board inspo to get some inspiration. I do like to have like something in the middle of the vision board that's kind of like the theme for my year. This year I have this fun little graphic that I found on Pinterest, and it says, look around you and appreciate what you have. Nothing will be the same in a year. And that really rings true for me because I am in a quite temporary season of life, doing a working holiday in New Zealand. So I am trying to appreciate the present. So I always print out my vision boards and hang them up in my room. I also set it as my iPad wallpaper. So this was my vision board for this year. It's been my iPad wallpaper all year, so I look at it pretty much every day, and it's just fun, and that's what I love about it. As far as goals for myself for 2026, I'm kind of dividing it into two different buckets. The first bucket is, what do I want more of in 2026? And I did mention this earlier, 2025 was a year of a lot of new things for me, and in 2026, I really want to spend some more time cultivating the things that have really stuck with me. Things like dancing, journaling. As I said, I'm creating a whole journaling ecosystem for myself, not only with the daily record keeping in my planner this year, but I have started this journal. I started it in September, I think. And I got this idea from another YouTuber. Her name is Becky May, and she has a journaling system where she journals kind of color coded based on her mood. So I started adopting that into this journal, and it is a very stream of consciousness, like I need to get stuff out kind of journal. So I have a color for happy, a color for like kind of like indifferent, and a color for not feeling not so good. But yeah, I've been loving journaling like this. So thank you to Becky for giving me that idea. And maybe it will help somebody else as well, but I have found that really helpful. Another journal that I am adding to my journaling ecosystem this year is this really fun Kuromi journal. I think this is so cute. I found this at Kmart, but I really wanted another journal that isn't so much record keeping or like just stream of consciousness. I kind of want to challenge myself in journaling this year, like find prompts to write about. So that's kind of what this journal is. Also want a place to like keep lists and just different things that aren't so stream of consciousness or like happening right in the moment. So that's going to be a new fun challenge for me. Along the lines of journaling, I want to write more this year. I have a journalism background, so I've always been a writer at heart. And I did start a Substack in October, I think, of last year, and I am trying to revive that. So if you have any interest, definitely go check it out. It's called Temporary Horizons, and I talk about kind of like the impermanence of everything and living in the present, living this kind of work and holiday lifestyle that I've been living for the past almost 2.5 years now. So yeah, any interest? Shameless plug here. But writing is definitely something I want to focus more on in 2026, and making YouTube videos. Definitely want to spend some time cultivating this channel. I feel like this year was very surprising for me in terms of YouTube and how much I have grown to really enjoy the process of making and editing videos. Even though it's not always the most consistent, that's okay. There's always room for improvement. And the other thing I want more of in 2026 is just stimulating my mind in general, learning new things, maybe taking up language learning again. I did learn Spanish back in high school, and I have a few coworkers who are native Spanish speakers, so I think it would maybe be fun to try to pick that back up again and converse with them, because I never really got the chance to practice Spanish outside of the classroom when I was learning it. And obviously I was a teenager as well, so it really wasn't as important to me as it should have been. Or maybe I will pick up Korean studying again. I was really into it in the later half of 2023. I was on a self-studying schedule of Korean, and I feel like I am at a point where I can definitely form simple sentences, but I would love to get better at that as well. So maybe some language learning in my future, and stimulating my mind with reading as well. I had a lot of books that I started to read and didn't finish this year. I think I only read through 4 full books this year, which is kind of low for me, but I would love to spend some more time reading in 2026. So things that I'd like less of in 2026. This first thing I have noticed has been kind of a trend across the board. I've watched a lot of these 2026 planning goals, end of year type videos on YouTube recently. And a lot of people are saying that they want less screen time. And I also want less screen time. I am a victim of the algorithm. And I think it would be really great to let that go for more than an hour a day or something, because it's consuming and it's addicting. And I know that I can spend my time focusing on the things I want more of instead of scrolling on Instagram. And on the note of Instagram, it is also something I want less of this year. I know that I have not been good at posting on my Instagram connected to this YouTube channel at all this year. However, I think that I've put way too much pressure on myself to post on it, and therefore whenever I go to post on it, it just doesn't feel good. So I'm letting it go in 2026. I'm gonna keep it active only because I have received some really, really nice messages from my subscribers and people who are on their Australia and New Zealand work and holiday journeys, and I think that it's a good place to connect for that. But as far as posting, I just have to let it go for now. Maybe not forever, but for now. That is the thing that I'm letting go of, that I want less of. I think I will wrap this video up there. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found some inspiration here on things that you can do to reflect on 2025 and also prepare for 2026 if you are into the New Year resolution, goal setting type of activities. I would love to know what things you want more of and less of in 2026. Feel free to leave them in the comments and I will look forward to having a discussion with you. And Happy New Year to everyone watching this. I hope that 2026 treats you well. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about this year. I think it's gonna be a good one. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye.